Every 4 years, the same 5 or 6 names get printed on every bracket. Argentina, France, Spain, Brazil, and England. The favorites. The safe picks. But here's what nobody tells you. In the last 4 World Cups, a so-called nobody has reached the semifinals every single time. Croatia, Morocco, Belgium before they were Belgium. The bracket busters aren't flukes, they're a pattern. And in 2026, with 48 teams, 3 host nations, and the most chaotic format the tournament has ever seen, that pattern is about to get louder. So today we're not ranking the favorites. We're hunting the dark horses. 10 teams the pundits keep sleeping on and the tactical reasons each one could blow this tournament wide open. Stick around for number 1, because that team beat Italy twice on the way here and almost nobody has them on their bracket. Quick context because it matters. This is the first 48-team World Cup. That means more groups, a bloated round of 32, and a longer path but also more margin for a team that gets hot at the right moment. The talent gap between the elite and everyone else has been shrinking for a decade. Players from smaller nations now start for the biggest clubs in Europe. The mystery is gone, and so is the fear. That's the soil. Now here are the 10 teams that could grow out of it. We're counting up to the strongest case. And the team nobody has on their bracket that absolutely should be Norway. Start with the qualifying campaign, because it's stunning. Norway won all 8 of their qualifiers. They scored 37 goals, at least 9 more than any other team in Europe, and conceded just 5. They beat Italy twice, including a 4-1 demolition to seal their first World Cup since 1998. This isn't a hopeful pick. This is a team that bulldozed its way here. Now the personnel. Up top, the most lethal goalscorer on the planet, a striker who turns one chance into 1 goal as reliably as anyone in history. Behind him, a Premier League captain orchestrating the midfield with elite vision and control. 2 genuine world-class talents in the spine of the team, the exact thing every other side on this list is missing. The knock on Norway is tournament inexperience. This golden generation has never been on this stage. But raw quality plus form is how dark horses become finalists. They have the best striker in the world, a top 5 midfielder, and a team that just proved it can dismantle a traditional power. If everything clicks, Norway aren't just a dark horse. They're a problem for everyone. Now a true unknown. Uzbekistan are at their first ever World Cup, drawn into Group K with Portugal, Colombia, and DR Congo. No history, no scar tissue, no pressure. Here's why that's dangerous. Debutants who qualify on merit, not luck, tend to arrive fearless. Uzbekistan are a well-drilled, vertical side, quick to break, organized without the ball, and carried by a young core that has grown up together through the youth ranks. Nobody has tape on how they handle the big stage, which cuts both ways, but it means no opponent can prepare for their temperament. Realistically, escaping that group is the dream scenario. But nobody is talking about Uzbekistan, is the whole point of this list, and first-timers have shocked this tournament before. Egypt. Egypt drew into Group G with Belgium, Iran, and New Zealand, a genuinely navigable path. And they have the one thing every dark horse needs, a match winner who can decide a game by himself. Tactically, Egypt are built to sit, absorb, and strike. They defend in numbers, stay compact between the lines, and spring forward the moment they win it back, and at the end of that spring is one of the most clinical finishers of his generation. In a tournament decided by fine margins, having a player who turns half a chance into a goal is worth more than depth. Egypt's question has always been whether the supporting cast shows up. If it does, this is a quarterfinal team hiding in plain sight. Now we get to the team with arguably the most underrated defense in the entire field. La Tricolor are young, fast, and physically dominant at the back, anchored by a midfield destroyer who covers ground like a sweeper, flanked by fullbacks who start in the Premier League and centre-backs who already command big club money. Here's the tactical case. World Cups are won by defenses that don't break. Ecuador concede almost nothing, defend space brilliantly, and have the legs to press for 90 minutes. The knock is goals. They can go quiet in the final third. But a team that's this hard to score against only needs to find one. In knockout football, a clean sheet and a single moment is a formula. Ecuador have the first half of it locked. Switzerland, the quiet professionals. Switzerland have not missed a World Cup since 2002 and almost always reached the last 16. No superstars, no headlines, and that's exactly why they're dangerous. This is a team with no weak link and a clear plan. They defend as a unit, transition with intelligence, and have a proven goalscorer up top plus livewire wingers who punish space. Tournament football rewards organization over flair, and Switzerland are organization in its purest form. They've beaten France. They've beaten Spain in a shootout. The blueprint for going deep already exists, they just need the draw to open up. Nobody fears the Swiss. That's the mistake. Senegal, Africa's most complete squad on paper. Senegal blend ready now veterans with a wave of young talent that already has tournament miles in their legs, and the result is power, pace, and depth at almost every position. Tactically, Senegal are a transition machine. They're comfortable defending deep, devastating on the counter, and physically overwhelming over 90 minutes in the heat of a North American summer conditions that will punish slower European sides. They've already won the Africa Cup of Nations, so this group knows how to close out a tournament. The talent has never been the question with Senegal. It's consistency. Get that right, and this is a semi-final team. Japan. This might be the best team, not the best collection of names, the best team in the entire tournament. Japan don't have a Haaland or Mbappe. What they have is cohesion most squads can only dream of: relentless pressing, fluid positional rotations, and a tactical discipline that turns 11 good players into something far greater than the sum of its parts. They've beaten Germany. They've beaten Spain. Not by parking the bus, by outplaying them. Their manager has openly set the goal as winning the whole thing, and given how they dismantle elite opponents, that's not delusion. The case against Japan is they've never broken through to the latter stages. But every breakthrough looks impossible until the team that makes it. Japan have the system. 2026 could be the year the ceiling finally cracks. Croatia. Yes, they're aging. Yes, you've heard this before. And yes, they keep doing it anyway. Croatia have reached the final and the semi-final of the last 2 World Cups. The spine of this team has fought together for over a decade, orchestrated by a midfield maestro who, at 40, still controls the tempo of a game better than men half his age. Around the veterans, a new generation of athletic defender midfielders does the running, the pressing, and the dirty work. Here's why you never count them out. Croatia win the games nobody else can, the tense, scoreless, extra-time grinders that go to penalties. They are the best knockout football team of the last decade that isn't a traditional favorite. Experience like this doesn't show up in FIFA rankings. It shows up in the 87th minute of a tied quarterfinal. Sleep on Croatia at your own risk. Colombia. One of the most talked about outsiders and still, somehow, underrated. Colombia reached the 2024 Copa America final, their best showing the century, and they did it with a perfect blend: World Cup experience in the spine, and informed attackers who've never tasted the tournament and are hungry to. Tactically, Colombia are hard to break down and lethal in transition. They defend as a collective, prioritize the team over the individual, and then unleash a winger who is, on his day, genuinely unplayable. They've got a creative veteran pulling strings behind a fast, fearless front line. That balance, solid behind, dangerous ahead, is exactly the profile that goes deep in tournaments. Colombia don't need to overachieve to reach a semi-final. They just need to play to their level. And that level is very, very high. So there's your 10. Panama, Uzbekistan, Egypt, Switzerland, Senegal, Japan, Croatia, Colombia, and Norway leading the pack. The favorites will get all the airtime. But history says one of these teams is going to ruin somebody's bracket and maybe go all the way. So tell me in the comments, which of these 10 do you actually believe in? And who did I leave off the list? Drop your pick, hit subscribe so you don't miss the knockout round breakdowns, and I'll see you at kickoff.